Hey, what's going on, guys? So today we're going over another cool item from Countycomm. This is their beginner lockpick set, which is super, super cool. So I am an amateur lock picker. I definitely pick my nose more than I pick locks. But I can tell you there was one time that I actually needed this skill in real life, and I was glad I had it. Although it's like my personal skill level for lock picking is very, very basic. I've done padlocks. I've been successful with a couple different doorknobs, tumblers. Separate from this set, I'll show you, I do have a separate set of keys, which that's for bump lock picking. That's kind of a different thing. And again, I'm new to that as well. But a basic lockpick set can actually get you into a lot of basic locks, right? So my real life story is that I lost the key to my padlock that was on my shed. I happen to lock everything up. I don't really even have anything of value in my shed. It's a small little shed, a couple random things in there. But I lost the key and I had to pick that padlock. It was a master lock that I got from like Walmart at some point. It wasn't tremendously hard to pick. It took me probably 25 minutes because I don't really know what I'm doing that well. Like I understand the basics, but I just don't have the experience. So it took me a long time to do it, but I was successful and it made me feel like a badass. I thought it was kind of cool that I was able to get in there, and then I threw the lock away, and then I got a better lock. But yeah, it's just kind of a good skill to have. You just never know. Just because you're into lock picking does not mean you're some kind of a thief or burglar. It just means that you are handy. That's basically it. If you lose a key, you don't need a key, right? That's pretty cool. And obviously, if you really want to know about lock picking, I'm not the guy to tell you. I definitely would watch, some of the lock picking dedicated channels. There's a couple big ones on YouTube that are well known. They can get into anything, right? So anyway, these are on Countycomm for $24.95. Now these sets are somewhat common. I mean, you can find this on Amazon, eBay, and stuff like that. But what sets this one apart, I mean, this particular set that comes with, a bunch of different picks and like a clear lock and stuff, these range anywhere from $20 to $25 or maybe 30 at most. But you could find these, for 20 bucks, but you won't find one with this cool Microtech case. And that's what I'm most interested in, because I want to get back into lock picking a little bit, like some of the basics. And I have other stuff. I have other picks, and I wanted a big case to put all that stuff into. Yeah, I have other stuff. So what I will do is I'll play around with this lock a little bit, which I've had these before as well. But this will just be my tools. I won't put this back in here. And I'll have everything kind of centralized. I actually keep lock picking tools in my vehicle just in case. You just never know. But I have in my home as well. So that's pretty much it. I mean, I'll show you picking this lock. This is a really simple lock they give you. But they give you a variety of tools here, which is nice. All different types of picks. And there's names for all this stuff. Like I said, I'm an amateur. I don't know all that stuff. These are tensioning tools. So you can tension the lock. So, once you get the pins in line, it'll break free and open up. So we have kind of a lighter one, a heavier duty one. This, where is it? Not that piece. I think this is an extraction tool. In case you have like a broken key in there or something. At least I think so from what I've seen before. Believe it or not, of all these funky different shapes and stuff, the balls and the rakes and all that kind of stuff, I like this. And there's a name for this. A gonzo pick or something? I forget. It's been such a long time. But I like this pick because I can rake with this pick and I can also manipulate individual pins. And I'll show you that in just a second here. All right, and then we even have like another tensioning tool here. Tensioning wrench, I think. But anyway, so you get this clear lock, you get all these tools, and you get the pouch. And this does come with a set of keys, so you can see that it works. All right, so let's pop this in here. Turn the key, there you go, it unlocks. Now if you notice, this key has a very simple pattern on it. It's almost identical across. They're very, very similar, which makes this very easy to pick. Obviously, a real padlock or another lock that has all kinds of different, depths and points and stuff, that's going to be obviously more difficult. But the idea here, let me zoom in, is that you get the clear plastic lock. It's fully functional, as you saw. But you can see, actually, let me get the key again. You can see how this actually works. So if you don't know anything about locks, like padlocks like this at all, this is what it looks like on the inside. Let me actually turn it this way. You have a set of springs and pins, and the pins go into this tumbler, right? This is what rotates. And on top, it's like T-shaped, right? So there's a hook we all know, like on these padlocks, right, we see the shape here. And that is because this piece of metal on the end, when you push this down, this is pushing this over, it snaps in place here, and now this is actually connected, so you can't lift this up. That's the whole point. This is locked. In order to unlock this, you have to rotate the key, and rotating the key, right, this whole tumbler moves, it's pulling that out enough to pop it open and spring-load it, right? So I took the key out. Notice these pins are slightly off, right? They're not really in a straight row. They look like they're in a straight row because, again, this is a very simple lock. Normally, they'd be up and down and all over the place, right? When you put the key in, all these little teeth, they're lining up inside. So if you watch, it's moving those pins up and down. And when the key is all the way in, they are in a straight line above the shear line. What that means is that they're not in the way and you're able to rotate the tumbler. And that's how you open the lock, right? So without a key, the idea is you're supposed to manipulate all these pins so they're all above the shear line so you can rotate the tumbler without the key, right? So we need a tension tool. We're gonna put that in here towards the bottom. And I'm just gonna use, it's difficult when you're not only doing a video, but also trying to just demonstrate this, but I'm putting tension on this. So I'm kind of pinching the lock between my pointer finger and middle finger, but my thumb is pushing forward. So I'm trying to rotate this. Obviously it won't rotate because all these pins are in the way. So I'm keeping tension on this. And as I keep tension, I'm gonna put this pick in here. All right. And as I move this around, I can manipulate each one. As I move in and out, I'm using the tip of that tool to push all these in a row, and right there feels like it. So if I push the tension tool, there you go. Pick the lock. Super cool, right? Very fun. Again, this is a really simple lock, so obviously if you've never done this in your life, the first time you do this, you really feel cool. It's just, you're like, wow, I picked the lock, you know, it's cool. It is cool, but this one is easy. But that's the whole point. That's how this whole thing works. So let me show you an even smaller lock. This is like a cheap luggage lock. I've had this for years. I've actually used this as a demo before in other lock picking videos from years and years ago. But a simple pick like this thing, it almost works like a key. There's only like 1 or 2 pins in here. It's really, really easy to get to. There you go. So I don't need a tensioning bar because it's so small. But yeah, I mean, it's a lock pick set. It works. It unlocks locks. But you have to learn a little bit. It's just cool it comes with a basic one. Not only do you get the principle, when you really look at it, you're like, right, here's what's going on the inside, and that's important to know, so you know what you're doing. You don't just like jam tools and just start twisting and stuff. You have to have a purpose, you know, in order to get good at lock picking, you have to understand exactly what you're doing, why you're doing it, and then you can accomplish doing it, right? It's that simple. But like I said, I mean, these kits, like I said, they're somewhat common. I used to get these from, not this exact kit, but different types of kits like it from like Bud K years and years and years ago and stuff. But like I said, the one from Countycomm comes with a very nice custom sheath, you know, holder for this, a little baggie, if you will. But yeah, I mean, that's what I like about it. All the extra space in here. I'm going to be able to put all my tools, all my other keys. I have some other stuff as well. It'll all be centralized into one pouch. But if you guys are interested, it's 25 bucks. I think it's kind of cool. If you happen to be already ordering something else, it's something worth checking out. But let me know in the comment section, do you guys get seriously into lockpicking? I think it's a good skill to have. Like I said, you don't have to be a master lockpick. You don't have to turn into a locksmith and open your own store and get people out of their cars and into their houses and stuff. It's just good to know, like in my particular case, I played around with this when I was a teenager because I thought it was fun. It was just a cool idea, right? But I did actually use the skill to get into my own shed. And yes, technology has changed so much. I've seen doorknobs that you can just change the key all the time. Like you can just put a new key in and just change what the key, almost like changing a combination, you know, on like a padlock or something. It's so cool. So obviously, you know, as years go by, it's going to get harder and harder to pick locks, but you know, there's still plenty of basic locks out there. So this is not so much like, hey, if you want to break into something that you don't belong in, you should learn this stuff. It's more like, hey, you know, my toolbox has a lock on it and I don't know where the key is, but I happen to have a lockpick set in my drawer or my whatever inside the house, and I can use that to at least get into my own thing as opposed to trying to, you know, cut the lock off. You know what I'm saying? It's just skills and knowledge. It's always a good thing to add into your life, right? The more you know, the better. But anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Again, in the comment section, let me know if you're into lockpicking, like hardcore into lockpicking. You know me. I have so many hobbies and stuff. The one thing I lack is time. I don't have a lot of free time in my life. But I am going to try to learn a little bit more about this, at least be more versatile, understand how the different rakes and tools and picks, you know, how they function, why I would use one over another. Because like I said, my stuff has always been literally this like gonzo pick, whatever this thing is called, this and a tension wrench, and I'm good for like super cheap, easy stuff. But I want to know a little bit more. I want to advance my skill just a little bit, understand what these things, you know, the advantage of using some of these different tools are. But anyway, that's all. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Take care.